Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Great Books in 10 Minutes. In this episode, we will be analyzing William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. If you would like to watch my complete summary of Romeo and Juliet, you can find it on the channel or from the links in the description box and the pinned comment. William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet is a masterpiece of English literature that has endured for over 4 centuries. Its exploration of themes such as love, family, violence, and fate, as well as its poetic language, continue to captivate audiences and inspire new generations of writers and artists. However, the depth and complexity of Romeo and Juliet go far beyond its surface-level appeal. The play's portrayal of the intense, all-consuming love between the two main protagonists and the tragic consequences that result from their feuding families and society's constraints speak to universal human experiences and emotions. Moreover, Shakespeare's use of literary devices such as metaphor, foreshadowing, and dramatic irony, as well as his examination of themes such as free will and determinism, makes Romeo and Juliet a work that rewards careful analysis and interpretation. In order to fully appreciate the significance of Romeo and Juliet in the canon of English literature, it is necessary to delve into its historical and cultural context, its formal and thematic elements, and its ongoing relevance to contemporary society. By doing so, we can gain a deeper understanding of why this play continues to resonate with audiences around the world, and why Shakespeare remains one of the most important and influential writers in the English language. Romeo and Juliet is a play that is renowned for its ability to engage audiences on many levels, both through its language and its characters. The poetic verse that Shakespeare employs is one of the most remarkable aspects of the play, with rich and multi-layered dialogues that convey the emotions and thoughts of the characters. This language is not only beautiful in its own right, but also serves to deepen the emotional impact of the play, drawing the audience into the story and making them feel the intensity of the love and tragedy that unfold. The characters in Romeo and Juliet are equally important in the play's appeal. The young lovers themselves are among the most iconic figures in literature, with their tragic romance touching the hearts of audiences for centuries. Their love, despite the obstacles that keep them apart, is a testament to the power of human emotion and has resonated with readers and viewers of all ages. The supporting characters such as Friar Lawrence and the nurse also contribute to the play's richness, providing comedic relief and dramatic tension that further immerse the audience in the world of Verona. The play takes place during the Renaissance period in Europe, which was a time of significant social and political change. The feud between the Capulets and the Montagues is not only a personal vendetta between two families, but also a reflection of the political and social divisions of Renaissance Italy and Europe in general. The rivalry between elite families in Europe often lasted for decades or centuries and had a significant impact on the societies and nations in which they occurred. For example, in Italy, the famous Medici and Pazzi families were at each other's throats for 16 years, while the Guelphs and the Ghibellines feud lasted for over 2 centuries. In England, there was the famous example of the House of Lancaster and the House of York, which Shakespeare used for Richard III. In France, the war between the Habsburgs and the Valois lasted for 38 years, and in Germany, the House of Hohenzollern and Wettin plotted against each other for more than 2 centuries. These conflicts frequently led to the division of a city or even an entire country along economic and political lines, with far-reaching consequences that affected every aspect of life. Romeo and Juliet's love is impacted by the political pressure that arises from the factionalization of Verona. The conflict between the Capulet and the Montague families creates a barrier to Romeo and Juliet's love, forcing them to hide their relationship. At the same time, Romeo's loyalty to his friend Mercutio and his desire to revenge against Tybalt, Juliet's cousin, complicates his relationship with Juliet. We can argue that Romeo's impulsive decision to fight Tybalt Tybalt and succumb to his social and familial expectations dictated to him all his life that he is a Montague and cannot allow Tybalt to walk unscathed after murdering his cousin, leads to his banishment and eventual tragic end of the two lovers. The pressure of the tense situation in Verona is so palpable that even Romeo acknowledges it. He confesses that he feels a sense of impending doom and knows in his heart that something terrible will happen if he attends Lord Capulet's party. Another tragic aspect of Romeo and Juliet is the loneliness and isolation that the two lovers experience throughout the story. Despite the intense love for each other, Romeo and Juliet are constantly surrounded by individuals who either do not understand their feelings or actively work against their relationship. For example, the nurse, who is supposed to be Juliet's confidant and ally, despite knowing how much Juliet loves Romeo, ultimately advises her to marry Paris instead of Romeo. As a result, Juliet stops confiding in the nurse, which prevents her from sharing her plan to take the sleeping potion that Friar Lawrence had given her. If she could trust the nurse and share the plan, the outcome of the story may have been different. Friar Lawrence, who is supposed to be a trusted advisor to both Romeo and Juliet, also makes decisions that ultimately lead to tragedy, such as leaving Juliet alone in the tomb after she wakes up from her sleeping potion. In Romeo and Juliet, the themes of love and hatred are equally significant. The intense, all-consuming love between the titular characters, which ultimately leads to their tragic demise, can be seen as a necessary sacrifice to end years of bitter hostilities. It is also a harsh reminder of the consequences of nurturing and empowering hatred, which can eventually engulf everything, including one's loved ones. The mindless hatred between the Capulet and Montague families has become so deeply ingrained in their collective consciousness that no one can even remember why it began or what it is truly about. Romeo and Juliet's love is a powerful force that washes away and extinguishes the destructive fire of hatred, revealing the futility of the feud and the senseless tragedy that it has wrought. Shakespeare demonstrates his mastery in Romeo and Juliet by marking the end of the long-standing feud between the Capulet and the Montagues with their joint promise to erect two golden statues of the young lovers. The decision serves as a powerful reminder to the audience that the only things that truly deserve to be celebrated and preserved are love, kindness, and compassion. By choosing to end the play with this symbol of love and unity, Shakespeare highlights the redemptive power of human connection and the possibility of reconciliation even in the face of long-standing conflict. The golden statues of Romeo and Juliet serve as a beacon of hope for a future in which love can triumph over hate and division. Very well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me in this literary journey. I hope you found my analysis both enjoyable and thought-provoking. I strive to offer a unique, out-of-the-box perspective on the subjects I explore, acknowledging that they may differ from mainstream interpretations. Remember, you don't have to accept everything I have shared. These are simply my personal thoughts, shaped by years of learning and passion for literature. If you would like to support the channel, consider becoming a member. Liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your engagement helps keep this literary conversation alive. Until next time, keep reading and exploring the world of words.